Hi, my name is Nikolina and I will be covering Year 1. So the learning objectives is building simple numeric relationships by exploring halves and quarters, problem solving, developing an understanding of basic fractions, halves and quarters, and being able to model them to explain the thinking process. It's linking to symmetry, linking to spatial shapes and name of shapes. Description of assumed prior understandings and skills, representing practical situations to model addition and sharing, develop to number sense and being able to count, prior knowledge of basics shapes, one whole. Justification for this learning activity. Recognise and describe basic fractions of one half as being one of two equal parts of a whole. Focuses on partitioning, introducing fractions concept, and uses a visual model to allow students to explore and build an understanding and be able to model their thinking process. So I'll be covering Year 1, and it's covering basic fractions before we can understand decimals. So students are going to get each a piece of paper, origami paper, and they will fold it in half. Who can tell me one way in which you can fold it?
You can fold it like this.
Yep. Like this. Okay, perfect. So these are the two methods of folding in half. Now students are then to cut the halves. So now you have two halves. So can you put them together? You can use glue if you like to glue it onto the paper.
Half and half.
Makes one whole. So basically that's my activity with Year 1. Year 2s can be further developed if you extend this activity and you get students to cut the pieces of paper into quarters or thirds, and they can explore what kind of shapes they can make with that.
Hi, my name's Tim. I'll be doing the fraction rule activity, which is aimed at 3-4 students. The objectives for this activity is to get the students exploring the relationship of fraction families, realising that 2/8 is equal to 1/4, the same as 3/6 is equal to 1/2, converting mixed numbers to improper fractions and locating on a number line, and recognising common uses of halves, quarters and eighths of shapes. And prior knowledge, the students will be able to recognise and describe 1/2 as one of two equal parts of a whole, and a prior knowledge of quarters and eighths and the value they represent. Why we're doing this activity, it uses a physical resource in the piece of paper in an interactive way to develop and discuss the meaning of fractions, what they represent, and so the students will be able to place fractions on a number line after the activity. So this activity is called a fraction rule. I've just passed around a piece of paper to each student in the class and sort of teach it in an interactive manner, so we'd all do it together and discuss what we're doing at the same time. We'd all just start by folding it in half, and we just trace the line that the crease in the middle and realise that this represents 1/2, so we write that down. Once we've done that, we fold it a second time. And realise that gives us 4 walls on a piece of paper, each representing 1/4. So in writing those fractions in, we can always see that the 1/2 lines up with 2/4, meaning 2/4 represents a half and the other half. We can see we've got 8 walls representing the eighths. 1/2 or 2/4 or 4/8 will represent a half, the same as 3/4 and 6/8. So this just gives students something physical to look at. They realise that half of something is physically half a piece of paper or 3/4 or whatnot. And to finish the activity, I just have the students draw a line through the middle of the paper, the start of the line representing 0, and the end of the line representing 1 whole, and just go and locate these fractions on the number line.
Hi, my name is Bishara and I will be explaining the learning objectives for Level 5 and Level 6 on the Australian curriculum Ausvals. So, to investigate strategies to solve problems involving addition and subtraction of fractions with the same denominator, extend on students' number sense and use fractions in operation, explore properties of numbers and apply a range of strategies to solve for the answer. Assumed prior knowledge. This activity is merely using the learning foundation of addition and multiplication to solve for the answer. Students need to be able to use addition and multiplication fluently and have a sense of changing fractions to the same denominator. Justify a learning objective. In this activity, students use number and algorithm skills to conduct investigations, solve problems, and communicate their reasoning. Students need to be able to show their thinking by providing, working out, and justifying the answer.
My name is Bishara, and the activity that we'll be doing today is called the halfway point game. Tim and Nikolina will be finding a fraction that I will be finding the halfway point for. So Nikolina, would you like to tell me a fraction you came up with?
Yeah, I'll just do 7/8.
Okay. Tim?
5/16.
5/16. As you can see, we have 7/8 and 5/16. We have to make the denominators even. So we're going to times 7/8 by 2. So whatever we do to the top, we have to do to the bottom. So 7 times 2 means 8 times 2 is 16. So now we have the same denominators. What we're going to be doing next is adding the numerators together. So 14 plus 5. 14 plus 5 is 19. Therefore, it's going to be 19/6. This is going to be an improper fraction, and we don't want to work with improper fractions at the moment. So we have to times 19/6 by 1/2. By timing 19/6 by 1/2, the 19 stays the same, and 16 is times by 2 to get 32. And that is how you get the halfway point of 7/8 and 5/16. Thank you.
Hi, this is Adam.
I am discussing Year 6-7 learning objectives. They should know place value, connections between equivalent fractions, percentages and decimals, and carry out simple conversion. Assumed prior understanding and skills. Students understand what a numerator and denominator are, understanding the relationship between fractions, decimals and percentages, adding, subtracting and multiplying fraction problems. And the justification, connecting fractions, decimals, percentages, and express one quantity as a fraction of another with and without the use of digital technology.
My students today are Bishara and Tim. The aim of this game is to order numbers, fractions, decimals and percentages from smallest to largest. And I would play this in a classroom setting. I would play this game with the whole class and give each student one number, but since I've only got 2 students, I'll give them 2 numbers and they have to order them from smallest to largest. Now, one technique may be that they convert all of these numbers into fractions and then order the fractions, if that helps. Another way might be to convert them all to percentages, and that's all. Thanks. See ya.